This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, Harshit. Good evening, Molly. Good evening, everyone. Today is the session of time, speed, and distance, and time and work. So we are going to discuss the concept of these two topics. So those students who already know the topic, they can leave the session because some already we have completed these two topic in some sessions. So if you already know the concept and if you know the basics, because in this session we are going to discuss the easy question, the basic question of these two topics. Okay, so those students who already know the topic and who already understand the topic, who already know the application and the approach how to solve these type of question, they don't have to join this session. They can leave, and the recording will be provided in your dashboard. If you're facing any problem regarding voice issue, and you can write in the chat box. If my voice is clear, please say yes in the chat box. Okay, I need 1 or 2 yeses, that's fine for me. Okay, thank you. So let's just wait for 1 or 2 minutes for the student to join, and then we are going to start. Okay, so I think most of the student has arrived. Let's start the session. So in this session, we are going to understand the concept of time and work and time, speed, and distance. So those students who don't know anything about time and work and time, speed, and distance, after this session, it will be helpful and it will be easy for you to understand and to solve the questions which are related to these two topics. And if you face any difficulty while solving the question, then you can post on the WhatsApp group. But for those students who already know this concept and who already done the question or who already completed some question of this topic, then they don't have to worry about joining this session. Okay, so you can leave and you can watch the video or the recording for this session after that. Okay, the recording will be provided within next few days. Okay, so let's start the session. Let's see your first thing that. So first question what is arrived in our mind is that what is time and work. Okay, so we are going to skip what is time and we are also going to skip what is work, because you already know what is time and what is work. And if we are going to be in detail about time, that is going to be our 3 or 4 hour lectures. Okay, so we are going to skip about the definition of time and work. You already know about what is time and work. So let's see in examination, when we are going to talk about this topic, that time and work, we are going to get some questions which are related to this topic. Okay, so in examination, you are going to get questions like there is a boy, suppose we are saying A, B, and C. Suppose there are three boys and they are completing the work in X days, B is going to completing the work in Y days, and C is completing the work in Z days. Okay, so this is the number of days in which they are completing the work. So in every book, they are saying that you have to calculate per day work. So whenever you are going to study this concept from any book, you are going to see that they are going to calculate, suppose we are talking about A, per day work, that is 1 by X. Okay, and suppose we are going to talk about B, that is going to be 1 by Y, and for C it is going to be 1 by Z. So in every book they are calculating per day work. Okay, and after that, if the question is saying about that they are working together, so they will add that number of work, and if they are not working together, suppose someone is lefting the work, so they will subtract that work. So that's how they will solve the question. Okay, see, if video is lagging and if you are not able to hear, please check from your side, because other students are getting it fine. It might be your internet problem. Okay, so in this, the first thing is, instead of going to calculate the 1 day work, we are just going to calculate the total work, and then we are going to calculate the efficiency. How we are going to do that? Suppose we are saying that A is doing for X days and B is doing for Y days and C is doing for Z days. So instead of calculating per day, we are going to take the LCM of all the three values. Okay, suppose we are saying the LCM is going to be anything. Suppose it is going to be P. Okay, so we are going to say that P is the total work for all the three. So this is going to be your total work. Okay, and with the help of this total work, after that we are going to calculate the efficiency, that A efficiency is going to be P by X, B efficiency is going to be P by Y, and C efficiency is going to be P by Z. Okay, so that is nothing, that is we are going to calculate the efficiency. So this is the efficiency of all the three. Okay, so whenever you will get the question in the examination that A, B, C, or any name is given in the question, they are working for some X number or Y number of days. So instead of going per day work, we are going to calculate the efficiency, and then with the help of this efficiency, we are going to calculate their income, their payroll, or whatever it is going to be asked in the question. Okay, because while we are using this efficiency method, or we are there's another name for this method, that is the LCM method. So in LCM method, it will be easy for you to calculate the question, and it will be easy for you to understand the question, because here we are taking the total work as P and then we are calculating it. Okay, we will discuss some example of the by this method, so it will be easy for you after that to understand it. Okay, the another thing which you are going to face in this type of question is there is a timeline. There are always, suppose if the question is going to be very descriptive, they are going to give you a timeline. Suppose they are saying that A, B, and C are going to work for some Q number of days. Okay, and after that they are going to say that before the completion of the work, suppose I'm saying that before 3 days the work is going to complete, C is going to left. That means A and B are only working for in the last 3 days. Okay, so sometime you are going to get this type of information from the question. So whenever you are getting this type of a timeline situation, so my approach is to make a timeline of these type of question and then to try to solve it. Okay, we are going to discuss some example of this type also, and that will be easy for you to understand how to solve with the timeline concept. Okay, after that there is another concept in the time and work that we call man day concept. Okay, that is a man days concept. So what is a man days concept? So it is nothing, whenever some X number of men, suppose I'm taking example that 10 people are going to make a bridge in 10 days. Okay, so 10 people are making a bridge in 10 days. In how many days 20 people are going to make that bridge? Okay, so this type of question you will clearly solve it by Mandate's concept. So what is the Mandate's concept? When m number of men is going to work for d number of days for h number of hours, it is equals to the second situation which is asking in the question, that how many m number of men can work for D number of days, and H number of hours. Okay, and we are going to divide it by work because it is nothing, it is always equals to the work. Okay, so if we are solving this, that 10 number of men is working for 10 number of days, and in how many days 20 men is going to complete it, so we are just multiplying these two and make it equal to 20. Okay, and suppose we are calculating for the X number of men, then we can easily calculate the value of X, that is going to be 5. So in 5 days, so that means in 5 days they can complete the work. So this is the concept of man days work, time and work, and the timeline concept that we are going to discuss in this lecture. Okay, so I think now you already know what is the concept. So let's see our question of this type of concept, and then we are going to solve it. So the first question is here: A does a work in 10 days and B does the same work in 15 days. In how many days they together will do the same work? Okay, so now if you see, the work of A is given, the work of B is given for the number of days. Now if they are going to work together, how many days they are going to complete it? Okay, so now you can solve this by LCM method. Just take the LCM of these 2 days, divided with their days, calculate their efficiency, and just calculate it without the using pen and paper. Okay, so please try to solve it, and please give me your answer in the options, sorry, in the comment, with the help of options. No problem, Anupriya. We are going to discuss this question, so then you will able to understand it. I want answer from each and every one of you. So please try to post your answer in the comment section. Comment box, there is a chat box here. You can use the chat box, which is in the right corner. And please post your answer so I can, okay. So mostly students, some students are saying 5, some students are saying B, C, and 1 or 2 student in saying C. Okay, so there is a confusion between A, B, and C. Please keep yourself muted. Mostly student already gave the answer. Let's discuss this question. So now we are going to apply the LCM method. In that we are going to take the LCM of these 2 days. So first understand, A does a work in 10 days, B does the same work in 15 days. In how many days they together will do the same work? Okay, so that means question is saying A is going to do the work in 10 days, B is going to do the work in 15 days. Okay, so we are going to take the LCM. You can take the LCM or any common multiple. Okay, because we are just taking the LCM to make the calculation fast, so you can take any common multiple. Here we can take, suppose the LCM is going to be 30, so we can say the efficiency of A is going to be 30 by 10, that is going to be 3, and 30 by 15 is going to be 2. So that means the efficiency of A is 3. That means he is going to complete the 3 work in 1 day, and B is going to complete the 2 work in 1 day, and the total work is nothing, it is 30. So I think now you able to get it, if how why we calculated the total work. So now the total work is 30. Efficiency of A doing the work in 1 day is 3. The efficiency of B of doing the work in 1 day is 2. If they are working together, that means we have to add this. The total efficiency is going to be 5. Okay, now total work is nothing, that is 30. If they are working together, that means the efficiency is going to be 5. So in how many days they can complete the work? That is 30 by 5, which is going to be 6 days. Okay, so if you see, it is very simple to calculate with LCM method. If you are going to use the per day approach in this question, it will be difficult for you to calculate all the fraction values, and sometimes you will get the answer wrong. Okay, so this is how we are going to solve these type of questions. Okay, so if we see in the option B is the correct option. Okay, so now you can try for the next question, that is option number this is the second question. A and finish a work in 18 days and B can do the same work in half the time of A, then working together, what part of the same work they can finish in a day? So please post your answer. You can use the same approach in this question, and then we are going to discuss it. We are dividing 30 is the total work, 5 is the total efficiency of A and B. So if you are calculating the number of days, because if you know the total value, that is 30, that is the total work which you have to which is there, and you have to calculate in how many days you are going to complete that. Okay, so we are taking total work divided by the efficiency, so we will get the number of days. Okay, so it is just like if you have 30 chocolates, or if you have 30 pizza or anything, whatever you like, you can take assume 30 as the total, and if they are going to use it on the basis of 5, if their efficiency is doing something is 5, you have to divide it by this, and then you will get the number of days. So that is the LCM method. Okay, so mostly students are saying option A is the right answer. Okay, so let's try to solve this question. A and finish a work in 18 days and B can do the same work half the time taken by A. So we can say directly that A is doing the work in 80 days and B can do the work in half the time. That means it is going to take 9 days. Okay, if we take the LCM, or if you take the common multiple for both of them, you can take directly 18. 18 divided by 18 is going to be 1, that is the efficiency, and 18 divided by 9 is going to be 2. So now you know that the efficiency of A of doing the work, the total work is 18 here. Now A can complete 1 in 1 day and B can complete the work 2 in 1 day. Okay, so if they are working together, that means the efficiency is going to be 3. Okay, so the total work is 18, their efficiency is 3, so 18 by 3 you can calculate the number of days. So number of days is going to be 6. Okay, now question is asking what part of the same work they can finish in a day. So they can complete the work in 6 days, but question is asking how much, what is the part of the work they can finish in 1 day. So for 1 day work, it is going to be 1 by 6, that is option number A. So if you see, this is very simple to calculate. Even you don't have to use pen and paper for these type of question. Whenever you will get the number of days, just take the LCM, divide that, you will calculate the efficiency. If the question asking they are working together, then according to the question, you can take their work, sum it up, and then divide it by the total work. You will always get the number of days. Let's see our next question. Please try to do the first question and then go for the next question. So ABC can complete a piece of work in 24, 6 and 12 days respectively. Working together, they will complete the same work in. So now this question, we have now 3 variables. You have to use for 3 person or 3 variables. Please try to solve it and then we are going to discuss it. And please post your answer whatever you are getting, and please do not just try to copy paste other options. Like if someone is saying C or A, B or D, then you just have I saying that. If you are facing any problem while solving this question, please write in the chat box. We will clarify your doubt. Okay, so mostly students give the answer that is option C. Some are saying B, and few students are also saying option A. So let's discuss this question, and then your doubt is going to be clarified. So question is saying A, B, and C can complete a piece of work in 24, 6, and 12 days respectively. Working together, they will complete the same work in. So if you see in the question, again we have three people who are working for 24, 6, and 12 days. So you can directly take the LCM of all these three. So the LCM is going to be 24. So you can say the total work is going to be 24. Now, if you want to calculate the efficiency, you can directly calculate the efficiency. 24 divided by 24 is going to be 1. For B, 24 divided by 6 is going to be 4. And for C, 24 by 12 is going to be 2. So now this is the efficiency of per day work. Okay. Now the total work is 24. Now question is saying if they all are working together, that means efficiency of A, B, and C are combined. So 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 2 is going to 7. So now the efficiency of doing the work in one day is going to be 7. The total work is 24. So you just have to 24 divided by 7. So 24 divided by 7. Now you will get the mixed value. This is not this, so you can write it like 3 by 7, because if you see in the option there is one mixed value also. So this is the correct option for this question, that is option C. Okay, so 3 by 7 is the number of days. Okay, maybe you will get the option 24 by 7. So now I think now you are able to understand how to solve these type of question. Whenever you will see the number of days, just take the LCM divided by the days. You will can calculate per day efficiency for A, B, and C, or whatever given in the question, and then you can calculate whatever in the question is asking for you. Now we have the next question. Please try to solve it and give your answer in the comment box. Please take your time and please try to solve it. If you are getting any problem, or if you are not able to understand the question, if you face any difficulty, please leave it. We will discuss it, and if you face any difficulty, you can ask in the chat box, and then we are going to solve it. Only 10 or 12 students are posting the answer. Please, what about other students? There are 46 students in the class. Please post your answer. Okay, so mostly students give the answer. Let's discuss this question. So those students, some students are saying option A, and few students, there are 4-5 students who are saying option B. Okay, so let's discuss this question. So again, we have this similar type of question, but in this question, if you see, they begin the work together, but C left 4 days before the completion of the work. Okay, so in this type of question, you have to make the timeline, because if you want to understand this question, you have to make the timeline. Suppose question is saying they all started working together, but before 4 days, C is left the work. So if we make a timeline for this question, you can say that this is the total number of days in which the work is completed. But before the 4 days, C is left. That means A and B, they both are working, and up till here, A, B, and C, they all three are working together. Okay, so this is the information which we are getting for the question, and this is the timeline showing the total number of work which is completed in that particular time period. Okay, now question is saying A, B, and C can do a piece of work in 24 days, 30 days, and 40 days respectively. Okay, so again you have to take the LCM for 24, 30, and 40, or you can take any common multiple. Suppose we are taking the LCM, that is the total work is going to be 120. Okay, so now we can calculate the efficiency of A. So 120 divided by 24, that is going to be 5. 120 divided by 30, that is going to be 4. And 120 divided by 4, that is going to be 40, that is going to be 3. Okay, so now you know the efficiency of per day work which is done by A, B, and C. Okay, that means in one day A is completing 5, B is completing 4, and C is completing 3. The total work is 120. Okay, according to this timeline, we can say if A, B, C are working, that means 5 plus 4, 9 plus 3, 12. That means they are completing one day 12 work. Okay, and if A and B are working, that means they are completing the 9 work. So that is the efficiency from here to here and from here to here. Now you have to calculate in how many days the work is completed. Okay, so first you have to take, if the total work is 120 and A and B are working with the efficiency of 9, so we can say 120, and they are working for 4 days. So if we are saying the efficiency is 9 and they are working for 4 days, so they are going to complete 36 of the work. Okay, so we have to calculate what is the remaining work. So 120 minus 36, that is going to be 84. That means 84 work is left. I think now you are able to understand. When you are going to multiply the efficiency with the number of days, you will get the work. So now the remaining work is 84, and it is going to complete with the efficiency of 12. So 84 divided by 12. So if you're going to divide it by 12, you will get answer 7. So now if A, B, and C are working, so they will complete that work in 84 work in 7 days. And in the last 4 days, when A and B are working, they are completing 36. Now you have to calculate in how many days the work is completed. So 7 plus 4. So 7 plus 4 is going to be 11. Okay, so the total number of days is going to be 11. So in 11 days, the total work is going to be finished. Okay, see, I'm explaining the question. That's why we are taking more time in solving this type of question. Otherwise, you can solve it directly. Just directly calculate the efficiency, and then please try to solve it with the timeline method. And it will be easy for you to understand the question, and you can easily complete this question in within 1 minute. Okay. So now those students who gave the right answer, very good. That means you are on the right track. You are getting the concept right. You are understanding it. And those students who are still not getting it, please try to do the topic test from the series which are provided by Career Runner, and that will be easy for you to understand the concept and its application. Let's see our next question. So there are two questions from time and work. 4 men can repair a road in 7 hours. How many men are required to repair the road in 2 hours? Now this is the question of man days work. So you can apply the formula of man days work which we already discussed, that is number of men multiplied number of days with the number of hours divided by work is equals to the number of men with the number of days, number of hour divided by the number of work. If you apply this formula, you can apply this formula anywhere whenever you are going to get the question of man days work, and you can just solve it in just 30 seconds. No problem, it might be a typo error. You don't have to worry about days. The option are, suppose, let me cut it for you. This is not days, this is the number of men. So they are 17, 14, 13 and 16 men only. Please give your answer in the chat box and then we are going to discuss it. Okay, so if you see in this question, the question is very easy because 4 men can repair a road in 7 hours. How many men are required to repair the road in 2 hours? So this is nothing. This is we have to apply the man day concept. Men multiplied the number of hours. 7 4 is 24. Divided by 2 is going to be 14. So the answer is going to be 14 men is required to complete the work in 2 hours. Okay, so the question is very simple. You can easily solve this. But see, I'm not here just to tell you about this question. You can use this formula anywhere. Suppose the number of men is given, days is given, and hours is also given in the question. So you have to apply this. Okay, and in man days concept, please understand and listen carefully. Whenever you are solving the question, please keep this in your mind. The work has to be same. If the work is different, then you have to use the work value as well. Okay, okay, sorry, not 24, just 28. Okay, that is going to be 14. Okay, so it is nothing. Whenever you are solving for these type of question, whenever you are applying Mandate's concept, please listen and understand carefully. The work has to be same, because if you see in this situation, the work is same. Okay, the man is changing, the days is changing, and the number of hours is also changing. Okay, so see, the number of men is given in this question, that is 4. Number of hours is also given in this question, that is 7. So if you put these values in the formula, that is 4 men and for 7 hours, that is going to be 28. Okay, and if you compare it with the another quantity in which we have to calculate the number of men for 2 hours. So number of men can be x, or you can say number of men can be m1 for how many days, for 2 hours. Then you can easily calculate the value of men, that is 28 divided by 2, that is going to be 14. Okay, so we are doing nothing, we are just using this formula. Okay, and please remember, the work has to be same. If the work is changing, then you have to put the value according to the question. Okay, so whenever you will see this type of question, that man, women and children are working for some particular number of hours or days, then you can use this formula and you can easily calculate the answer. Now again, we have next question. A can do a certain work in a same time in which B and C together can do it. If A and B together can do it in 20 days and C alone in 60 days, then B alone could do it in. Now this is the second question. Please try yourself and please post your write the answer in the comment box, and then we are going to discuss it. Only 8 students gave the answer. What about other student? Please write your answer. And if you are facing any difficulty while solving this question, please write in the chat box so I can clarify your doubt. If you face any difficulty while solving this question, please write in the chat box. please write your answer, whatever you are getting. If you are stuck in any step, if you are facing any difficulty, if you are not able to understand the question, please write in the chat box. No problem, Saurav. We are going to clarify your doubt regarding this question. If you are not able to understand the question, no problem. Okay, so let's discuss the question. Uh, Question is saying A can do a certain work in the same time in which B and C can together do it. So we can say whatever the work done by A is equals to by the work of B and C, which is done by B and C combined. Okay, if A and B together can do the work in 20 days, that means when A and B are working together, they can complete the work in 20 days. Okay, and C can alone do it the same work in 60 days. Okay, so from here you can calculate the total work. Okay, so if we are taking the LCM or any common multiple, suppose we can say the total work is going to be 60. Okay, so the efficiency of A plus B is going to be 3, and the efficiency of C, which we can calculate from here, is 1. That means the total efficiency of A, B and C is going to be 4. Okay, and from the question we already know that A work is equals to the combination of B and C. So instead of B and C, we can directly write it here A. So 2A is equals to 4. So A is going to be 2. That means the efficiency of A is 2. So you can now easily calculate the efficiency of B as well. So the efficiency of B is going to be 1. And now you also do know the efficiency of C. So efficiency of A is 2, efficiency of B is 1, and the efficiency of C is also 1. Now question is asking, then a B alone could do it in how many days? Okay, if the total work is 60, okay, and if only B is going to do the work, that means only B is going to do the whole work. So 60 divided by 1 is going to be a 60 days. So in 60 days the total work is going to completed by B. So option D is the right option. Mostly student gave the right option, only few student got stuck. So if this question is also changed, no problem, the recording is also provided in our dashboard. So if you face any network problem, the recording will be uploaded in your dashboard. You can watch this recording again. Okay, so if this question can be changed, that in how many days if A and B are going to work together, in how many days they are going to complete this total work? So please write your answer. So if the total work is 60 and A and B are going to combine, that means the efficiency is going to be 3. Okay, and the total work is 60, so the answer is going to be 20. Okay, very good, PS. Harshit, very good. So okay, everyone is saying 20. Okay, so now I think you are able to understand the total concept of what is this LCM method. So we are doing nothing, we are just calculating, we are taking the LCM because this is the total work, we are assuming it total work, and then we are calculating the efficiency. With the help of efficiency you can make this question easier. Okay, you can also try to do whatever given in the books. You can also try to use that approach. There's all 3-4 approaches. Either you can go with the percentage approach, you can use the per day work approach, or you can use this LCM approach. It is already given in those every book, which whatever you are using for your preparation. So but this is the best approach because this is going to save a lot of time. Okay, but in few questions there, whenever there is a fraction value, and whenever you are getting anything in decimal form, then you are going to face some problem while with this LCM method. Then you can use your alternate basic approach, that is the per day work approach. Okay, but mostly you are going to solve around 99% of question you can easily solve by this method. Okay, so if you have any difficulty regarding this topic, you can ask me on the WhatsApp group or directly call me on my number which is provided to you. Okay, now let's move on to next question. Okay, now questions are completed. Now we have to discuss about time, speed and distance. So I think you already know what is time, speed, and distance. This is the topic of time class. So, and you already know the relation between that speed is equals to distance upon time, or you can say the time is equals to distance upon speed. Okay, so this is speed, and distance is equals to speed into time. Okay, so these three formulas are actually the basic same formula. Okay, so this is the concept of time, speed, and distance. Now in this there are something which you have to remember. First thing, whenever you are solving the question of time, speed, and distance, please remember that all the units have to be same. Okay, either they have to be in meter per second or they have to be in kilometer per hour. Okay, because mostly student got their question wrong and they solved it wrong because they are not calculating it, the unit right. So the first thing which you have to remember is, if you are converting from kilometer per hour to meter per second, okay, you just have to multiply it by 5 by 18. Okay, so you will get your answer in meter per second. And if you are converting from meter per second to kilometer per hour, you just have to reciprocate this, so you will get answer in kilometer per hour. Okay, so this is the basic thing which you have to understand while you are solving these type of question. Okay, now the second thing, when you are calculating for average speed. Okay, so there are two formulas for calculating the average speed. If the time is constant, then you can use the formula total speed divided by number of speed. Okay, so this is the simple formula. This is just like a shortcut for you. If the time is constant for any situation, you can use this formula total speed upon number of speed to calculate the average speed. Otherwise you have to use the formula that is 2s1 s2 upon s1 plus s2. So this is the formula for calculating the average speed. So there are two formulas. If the time is constant, you have to use this formula. If the distance is constant, then you have to use this formula. Okay, because in many questions you will find out that the person is going from one place to another place and then coming back from that place to their initial position. That means the distance is same in that condition, and the question is going to ask about the average speed. So in that condition you have to use this formula. Okay, 2s1 s2 upon s1 plus s2 to calculate the average speed. Okay, so this is all about the normal concept of time, speed, and distance. There is another thing in time, speed, and distance, that is the relative speed concept. Okay, so in relative speed, if two bodies are moving in opposite direction, that means they are moving towards each other, you have to add the speed. Suppose this body is moving with a kilometer per hour and this body is moving with b kilometer per hour, then their speed is going to add. Okay, so this is the relative method. And when they are moving in same direction, then their speed is going to subtract. Okay, so this is the relative concept while you are solving the question of time, speed, and distance. Okay, so now let's discuss some question, and on the basis of those questions I will help you to tell you the concept of that particular topic as well. Okay, so let's see our first some question for time, speed, and distance. A person crosses a 600-meter long street in 5 minutes. What is the speed in kilometer per hour? Now if you see in this question, the unit are given in meter and minutes. The question is asking for kilometer per hour. So please try to use the shortcut approach and please try to solve it and give me your answer in the comment box. Please write your answer in the comment box, in the chat box which is provided to you. And if you are facing any difficulty while solving this question, if you are not able to understand the question, please write in the chat box so we can clear your doubt. So if you see, the question is very simple. A person crosses a 600-meter long street in 5 minutes. So this is in meters and this is in minutes. So you have to convert this into seconds. So you already know distance upon time is going to be the speed. So 5 multiplied it by 60, because in 1 hour, in 1 minute there are 60 seconds. So you will get 600 by 300. So answer is going to be 2 meter per second. This is the speed, but this is in meter per second. And I already told you, if you want to convert from meter per second to kilometer per hour, just multiply it with 18 by 5. So 2 into 18 by 5, this is going to be 36 by 5. And you know that 35 divided by 5 is going to be 7. So this is going to be either 7 point something. That is going to be 7.2. So if you see in the option B is the right option. Okay. So the question is very simple. We are just calculating the speed of the person in kilometer per hour. The solution which we are getting is in meter per second, and we just converted into kilometer per hour just by using the shortcut trick. That is 18 by 5 and 5 by 18. You already learned it in 9th class. So this is the very fast approach to solve this type of question. Okay. Now we have another question about trains. Train of 90-meter long. Train crosses the bridge of 270 meter, which is at a speed of 18 km per hour. In what time? So there's a typo error. Train crosses the bridge. Okay, so the length of train is 90 meter. The length of the bridge is 270 meters, and the speed of the train is given, that is 18 km per hour. Okay, now you have to calculate in how much time the train is going to cross the bridge. Okay, so there is a concept of trains in time, speed, and distance. Whenever the train is going to cross the bridge or any platform, okay, at that time the train is covering its own length and the bridge length. Okay, so I'm making one bridge for you. I think this is the best I can make for you guys. So suppose this is a bridge from A to B, and from P to Q is the length of the train. Okay, so suppose if this train is going to pass this bridge at, so whenever the train is going to pass this bridge, to pass this bridge completely, the train has to cover its own length. Okay, so when the train is at this point, we can say the train is completely past the bridge. That means the train is completing this bridge length as well as its own length. So while you are solving the question of trains and bridges, there might be a platform or any other thing which have some particular length. But if this question is about a man or about any pole, then you don't have to take the length of the man or the pole, because the length of the man and the pole is negligible. That is going to be 0 as compared to this bridge. Okay, so whenever you are going to solve for pole or for a man, you don't have to take the length of that pole, you just have to take the length of the train. Okay, so whenever you are solving for the pole, you just have to consider the length of the train and you can solve the question easily. But in this question, the train is passing the bridge which is 270 meters long. Okay, so you have to add their length. That means 270 plus 90. Okay, so that is going to be 360. Okay, now the question is saying the speed is in 18 kilometer per hour. So you have to convert this 18 kilometer per hour in meters per second. And how you are going to convert it? Just 18 into 5 by 18. This is going to cancel out. So you will get 36 by 360 by 5. So that is going to be 72 seconds. Okay, so if you see in the option B is the right option. Okay, so mostly students gave the right answer for this question. I think now you are able to understand why we are taking the length of the train and as well as the bridge. If you have any difficulty while understanding this concept, please write in the chat box. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. Okay, so this is our next question, also from time, speed, and distance. Samir and Samar started running from the same point in opposite direction on a circular track of length 120 meter. Their speed is 20 meter and 40 meter per second respectively. After every second, Samir increases his speed by 2 meter per second, whereas Samar decreases his speed by 2 meter per second. In how many time would they have meet on the track by the time Samar comes to the rest? Okay, now this is the question. Please try to solve it and please give your answer. Then we are going to discuss it. Okay, so mostly students share their answer. Some student are saying B, some student are saying D, one student is saying H and Y. Okay, so the question is saying Samir and Samar started running at from the same point. So now this is the question of races. Okay, so before starting this question, first you have to understand what is the concept of races. So mostly in all the question of races, you will find one track which is have one starting point and one finishing point. And in majorly you will find the starting and finish point is going to be same. Okay, and if two bodies are moving or if two people are moving in the same direction, then their speed is going to subtract, and if they are moving in opposite direction, then their speed is going to add. So this is the concept of relative speed. So while you are solving the question of races, you have to keep this in mind. You have to use the relative speed concept. And suppose if we are saying the length of this track is going to L, so we can say by how many times they are going to meet. Okay, so that is L A minus B if they are moving in the same direction, L A plus B if they are moving in opposite direction. Okay, but and there are something more information about this. In this type of question, you will find out head start, dead heat. Okay, gives head start of seconds. So this type of words they are going to use in these type of question. So the meaning of head start is nothing. That means suppose A gives B a head start. Suppose A is giving B a head start of 10 meter. That means A is going to start from the starting point, but B is not going to start from the starting point. B is going to start 10 meters ahead of A. Okay, that means B is going to cover, if the total race is of 100 meters, then A is going to cover 100 meters, but B is going to cover only 90 meters. Okay, the meaning of dead heat it, that means both are ending at the same time. Okay, and gives head start of seconds, that means of time. So this is also same, that means instead of distance, A gives B a head start in particular time period. Either it might be 10, it might be 20, it might be anything. Okay, but in this question is very logical. You don't have to use anything. Suppose if you see in this question, two speed is given 20 meter per second and 40 meter per second respectively. So suppose both are moving in the opposite direction, that means their speed is going to add. So we can say the total speed is going to be 60 meter per second, and the total distance of the length of the track is 120 meters. Okay, so we can say so we can say that if they are covering in 1 second, they are covering 60 meters. So after covering 120 meters, they are going to meet one time. Okay, so that means after every 2 seconds, they are going to meet on the track. Okay, so I think now you will get it. After every 2 seconds, they will meet on the track. But the question is also saying that Samir increases his speed by 2 meter per second and Samar will decrease his speed 2 meter per second. Suppose the speed of, as given in the question, the speed of Samar is 40 meter per second. Okay, that means if he is going to decrease his speed 2 meter per second, then after 20 seconds, he is going to come at halt. That means at the stop condition, at rest. In how many times would they have meet on the track by the time Samar comes to halt? That means they have only 20 seconds, because they are running for 20 seconds, and after 20 seconds, when the Samar is going to come to halt, they are not going to run, and every 2 seconds they are going to meet one time. Okay, and they are going to run for 20 seconds, and every 2 seconds they are going to meet at one time. So 20 divided by 2, it is going to be 10 times. So they are going to meet 10 times in the total race. So if we see in the option D is the right answer. Those students who are saying option D, they are correct, and those students who are saying option B or option A, they are wrong. I think they have applied some mistake, or they have some conceptual problem. So if you see, you don't have to apply your concept in every question. You can directly solve it by logical method. Time, speed, distance, and time and work question are so logical. You don't have to complicate them. Please do not try everything on formula basic. Please try to use your mind. Maybe sometimes you will get your answer before, instead of trying to use the complex calculations. No, there is no significance of increase in speed, because the question is asking about halt condition, when the Samar is going to halt. So we are just calculating by after how many seconds the Samar is going to halt. After 20 seconds, Samar is going to halt. That means they are running for only 20 seconds. Okay, so because in this question mostly student, they add up their increase their speed by 20 meter per second, they decrease their speed by 22 meter per second, and then they are going to add, they will make an AP series. Because I see many students use AP and GP formula in this type of question, but this question is very logical. Anupriya, see that if you see the length of the total track is 120, their speed is given 20 meter per second and 40 meter per second. So their relative speed is going to be 60 meter per second. So we can say that they are going to meet at every 2 seconds, they are going to meet at one time, because in 1 second they are covering 60 meters. So in 2 seconds, they are going to cover 120 minutes and they are going to meet, because they are moving in opposite direction. Only if once they are going to cover 120 meter, only then they are going to meet. Okay, and the Samar is going to come to halt after 20 seconds, because he is moving with the speed of 40 meter per second and he is decreasing his speed every per second 2 meter per second. That means for 20 seconds he is going to run. That means the total time which they have is 20 seconds. and every 2 seconds they are going to meet one time. So 20 divided by 2, it is going to be 10. Okay, we will get 20 seconds just by dividing 40 by 2, that is 20 seconds. Yes, because we are calculating the only the time, we are not taking any speed change in there. Okay, so I think that is sufficient for today's session. We already completed question of time and work, time, speed and distance. We discussed all the concept of time and work and time, speed and distance. If you have any query regarding these topics, you can ask. And if you face any difficulty, now after this session you can take the test which is provided to you, the topic test of time, speed and time and work. And if you feel any problem in solving those questions, you can post it, because we don't have to worry about the speed, because we are calculating only on the time basis. Okay, so the total time is going to be same for both of them, so you don't have to add up their speed. That's why. Yeah, sure, we will going to provide you, for those students who are weak in concept, we are going to provide you the informative classes. Okay, so I think that is me for today's session. Let's see you in next session. Till then, Archita, we will have a calculation class in some coming days. We will see the schedule if we have any time slot which is provided. Then if we also have to check with the mentor. If the mentor is there, then we will going to provide you the calculation class. I think Shubham Jain sir already took one calculation class, and for calculation, please use the sheet which is provided in your dashboard. Okay, then we have to check the schedule. If we have any time slot, then we can provide you the class of that also. Okay, till then, please keep practicing. Okay, so I'm signing off. Thank you for joining the session.